What's up guys, it's Josh from Blackout Tinting, and beside me is the new Ford Bronco Sport, and we're pretty excited about this car. It's the first one that we've seen in person, so we figured we'd show you guys what it looks like up close and personal. So one thing I noticed immediately when you look at the car, the exterior styling is sort of boxy, similar to the older Broncos. Now, this is the baby brother of the new Bronco that's coming out shortly. So this is the Sport version. It's basically a totally different vehicle, but still carries that Bronco name. It almost sort of looks like a really bigger Jeep Renegade, sorry Ford, but that's kind of what it is. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's just sort of what it reminds me of. The same sort of shape on the top. The wheels are of course bigger and nicer looking than the Renegade. It's a more expensive vehicle. This one, stickers for $36,000 with the options, which honestly is not too bad considering the price of SUVs across the board. It's still not cheap, but everything is pushing towards 40, 50, 60, 100,000 for some of the bigger SUVs. So I don't think the price point's horrible. So on the back, we have the rear hatch. I like the white lettering that says Bronco Sport. I think that's pretty cool. You can open the glass separately from the hatch. I don't really know why you'd want to do that on this car. This is really, you can't, I don't even think you could put groceries in through this window. So not really sure what the purpose of opening that would be. I think most people are going to be opening the hatch itself. And in the hatch area, this is pretty big. You could fit probably a couple of suitcases side by side and stacked up. Lots of groceries, of course. We've got Bronco mats that haven't been installed yet. This is sort of a rubberized feel. This isn't carpet, which will be nice for cleaning, especially if you carry pets or anything. We detail here, so we know how much time it can take to get hair out of carpet. So apparently somebody at Ford knows that too. This is a cool idea. I don't know if that's an option or if that comes standard like that, but I like it. This picks up, and you do have a full spare with this car. That's nice. A lot of cars are going to like a can of Fix-A-Flat, literally, or other things like that. So this is cool. You have a full spare if you need it. There's another cigarette lighter back here. One thing I noticed that it doesn't exist in here is any type of AC plug, so like a regular house plug. A lot of cars now are coming with that built in, like an inverter built in. I didn't see that anywhere on this. I never used that in any of my cars, but it is something that you're starting to see more often, and this, I noticed, doesn't have it. The rear hatch here, this, I'm assuming, is some type of light to light up whatever you're doing. So there's a switch inside the hatch that lights these up, and they're LED, and they're really bright, actually, brighter than I expected. But you can angle them. So you can angle them into the hatch or out here. That's kind of cool. Another thing this one doesn't have, but I bet you the big Bronco will, is the self-closing hatch. Most cars now, you hit a button, the hatch will close. This one doesn't have that. It doesn't bother somebody like me, but I'm sure somebody will complain about that. The bottom is, of course, all lined with plastic. A lot of the newer cars are doing that, and if you're from the north like we are, that kind of helps a lot with rust and corrosion and chipping around the wheel wells and the rocker panel area. Does make it look slightly cheaper, I feel. Usually when these are painted, it looks a little bit nicer, but that's probably available on some type of option or some package somewhere. This is what they're calling the Outer Banks edition, which I saw some other ones from across the country that seem to be the same package but with a different name, so it might be one of those packages that's regional, but this gets you, for only $15.95, which I thought was reasonable, you get a power moonroof. You get a 10-speaker, I think it was, Bang & Olufsen system, which is the same sound system that you see in a lot of like high-end Audis and things like that. I'm sure it's different for this car, but it still sounds pretty good. All the lighting on the front of this particular Bronco seems to be LED with LED daytime running lights. Looks really cool. It's got the halo around the projectors, and this one has fog lights as well. Inside the car on this model, we've got black plastic trim, and then we have this sort of, I think it's a vinyl, I don't think it's real leather. It's blue, it sort of matches the exterior, and I think I like that. This material is interesting as well. This is not a normal feeling cloth. This is like a very smooth, but not Alcantara or suede, something that I never really saw before, almost like a, I don't really know how to describe it. It's smooth, but it's not leather or vinyl. First impressions on the inside, there's a lot of headroom here. I'm not a very tall guy, but if I was, I don't think I'd be uncomfortable here, which is nice. The steering wheel, it actually kind of reminds me of a Tesla steering wheel. It's almost the same kind of shape as a Tesla, the same kind of feel, a little bit thinner than that. I like the Bronco emblem. It's everywhere. It's on the seat or on the steering wheel. It's on the back of the seats, which is really cool. The rear view mirror is still an actual piece of glass. Thank you for that, Ford. These new cameras they're putting in here, some cars, I guess it is almost necessary, like the C8 Vet, but it like freaks me out. You're seeing it from a different view when you look behind you, and it's just weird. But this is still a piece of glass and doesn't turn into a camera, so that's exciting. So when you start the car up, it's of course push to start. The key says Bronco, similar to how a Raptor key would say Raptor here. In fact, I think it shares a key with the Raptor. It just says Bronco instead. Most of the Fords at this point are this key. We've got like cool little videos, and I noticed the video changes. So earlier there were rocks on this one, and now it looked like space. Let's try it again. So now there's rocks again. I don't know how to make it do it again, but at some point there's rocks that roll and it turns into a Bronco, and that's kind of cool, I guess. This screen reminds me of kind of like a Mercedes, the way that they sit up out of the dash. That's sort of the new style a lot of people are going to. We've got auto on and off, so at red lights it's going to shut off. Some people might like that, I guess, if you're saving the environment. I absolutely hate that. Pretty much every car has it now. It's weird. Stop it. Center console's right in, this might sound weird, but it's in the right spot. Your arm fits on it perfectly. You don't feel like you're uncomfortable. The seat itself is very comfortable as well. The gear selector is similar to other Fords. It's a round selector here in the middle. And we've got GOAT modes. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that's some type of off-road or climbing, probably a reference to a mountain goat, I guess. So on the screen, if we turn the GOAT modes, we've got normal. The vehicle is on. Thank you for telling me that, Ford. So if you move it, we've got normal mode, we've got eco mode, nobody wants that. Sport mode, that's what we like. And slippery, or if you're from Pittsburgh, slippy. I don't see any type of off-road. Oh, there it is. There's a sand mode, and that's it. I don't see anything else besides that. So that's what the GOAT modes are. We've got an electronic e-brake, of course. Everything's really nice and easy to get to, and it's not overly complicated. Some of these newer cars you get in and there's just a million switches everywhere, or the opposite, where there's not a single switch and everything is done on the screen, and it can be sort of difficult to figure out. Once you get it, it's not bad, but the first time you get in it, it kind of throws you off. So inside the center console, we've got a wireless charger, which we have a phone on there. It's charging and working the way it should. There's also a USB port and a USB-C port that you can plug right into, so that's pretty cool, as well as a 12-volt normal cigarette lighter style plug. The car has heated seats, not cold seats. It does have a heated wheel as well. We have both of those on, and they're getting nice and warm, so that's cool. One thing that I'm crazy about is backup cameras. I feel like in 2020, you should have a camera that is crystal clear, 1080, 4K probably, for everything. Anywhere there's a camera, it should be beautiful. I haven't looked at this one yet. We will find out. Okay, so not horrible. I'm in and out of a lot of cars, and there are some cars, some that are a lot more expensive than this one, that just have awful backup cameras. But then there are also other ones that have some that are absolutely crystal clear, perfect, like Tesla, for instance, or even Dodge. Dodge Rams have the beautiful camera setup. This is okay. I can definitely see everything and pretty clear, but it's definitely not 4K or even 1080, so slightly disappointed, but could be worse. This car does have built-in navigation as well, which for $36,000, I think that's pretty good. Check rear seats for occupants in case you can't remember that. Ford needs to tell you to bring your kid into Walmart with you. The back seat is, of course, trimmed the same as the front, and there's enough leg room to be in here and be comfortable for a small SUV. Not bad at all. So this is interesting. This is a zipper pouch on the back of the seat. Normally you have a pouch here, but this one's zipper. It doesn't go down the whole way, just this top, but that's kind of cool. I guess a little bit more secure way to hold stuff in the back of your seat. So that's it, guys. That is our sort of in-depth walk around of the Ford Bronco Sport. Let us know what you think about this car. We're gonna let you know what the rest of the shop thinks about it in another video, so check that out. If you enjoy seeing some of the new cars coming into the shop, make sure you subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.